Hello and welcome to Find Out Nation. I'm one of your hosts, Jamie,
I'm one of your hosts, Nicole.
and we're here to talk about what happens when a nation starts fucking around and finding out. And I feel like we're really testing some boundaries lately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whew. Anyway, okay, let's start with our favorite countdowns.
Okay. We are 208 from the midterms.
Yay!
I know, right?
Oh, that's right. Because last week because I'm like, oh, why isn't it 207? Last week we recorded on Thursday. This
Yeah.
week we're recording on Wednesday. That's right.
Yeah. We're 443 into this presidency.
Okay.
We are 39 days into the war with Iran.
Whew.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how long we are since the government shutdown?
Oh, no, I forgot to look that up. No,
That's
I
right.
forgot. I knew that there was a fourth one and I forgot.
Yeah. Because shockingly, we are still shut down now that Congress is on vacation. We're likely to be shut down at least another week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that journey for us. Whew. I brought 2 Diet Cokes and a water.
Did you?
So that I'd be well hydrated. Let me tell you. Yes.
So it started on Valentine's Day, February 14th.
Yeah.
So I couldn't remember exactly when it started. We are 53 days in.
Okay, 53 days into shutdown.
Yep.
I did hear today that the TSA is going to get paid for the last 6 weeks.
That's good.
By a undisclosed executive action that allows for use of emergency funds. That's I think it was Scott Bessent said he really couldn't go into more details, and he couldn't guarantee TSA pay in the future, but that Trump was able to secure some TSA payment or money for TSA paychecks.
What does that mean?
Supposedly banks or checks are supposed to be in people's banks accounts by this Friday or maybe as late as Monday, but they are supposed to get paid for at least the last 6 weeks. So who knows?
I mean, thank God, but like at the same time, where's that money coming from? Department of
Nobody
Defense?
knows.
Exactly.
Definitely not the Department of Defense. You're hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah,
probably
some
from
sort
SNAP
of
benefits.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure
Social
it is.
Security.
But it's probably coming from all the tariff money that we have.
Yeah, I bet it is.
We have all that tariff money.
I forgot about all that tariff money we got floating around. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start with the Iran war.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for anyone that is living under a rock, you are likely well aware that Donald Trump started a war. He then claimed that we are almost done with said war and victory was ours and we were almost ready to go home.
Yes.
He also said that he sent a 15-point proposal for ending the war to Iran. And they said, yeah, we sent you our 10-point. And we reported out on this weeks ago. So this is not anything new. Their own 10-point proposal for ending the war. On Sunday, Easter Sunday, Trump sends out a Truth Social message. Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. And I can't believe I'm reading these words.
I know. Say it with the right emphasis. You got to say it with the right emphasis.
I got to say, like, the fact that I'm reading the words of our president right now is so embarrassing.
As if he like thinks that he's, you know, what's his name
like
from
a trucker.
Fucking Goodfellas? Yeah, from Goodfellas.
Yeah,
because
yes, like a mobster. Is exactly right.
Yeah.
Open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump. If it wasn't so unhinged, it'd be hilarious. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I think what is so infuriating to me is that there wasn't enough outrage about that.
I don't know. So to your point, Megyn Kelly went nuts over it. Tucker Carlson went nuts over it. So to your point, I think the left, which is the media that we listen to, is just totally desensitized to all this.
Well, and I think the mainstream media wasn't making as big a fucking deal out of it as they should have been. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I read the article about it in my mainstream media as like, to your point, they weren't opinion pieces. They were like,
yeah,
Trump just sent this message.
yeah,
But to your point, I mean, the New York Times then asks Trump, you know that bridges and power plants are civilian targets. They're not military
right.
targets. Are you worried about war crimes? And he said no.
Yeah. And
He said no.
he spent the day golfing at his
Yeah.
Virginia Beach golf club after he
Yeah.
sent the fucking tweet. Not at church.
Yes.
Didn't show his fucking ugly mug in one church in the entire goddamn city. But yet all
No.
these fucking Christians are like, it's fine.
I know.
It's fine.
But to your point, I will say that like the outrage on the right, or at least from some of the people on the right, was sufficiently
Was
shocked.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Megyn Kelly on her podcast just railed against him. So,
But
even,
was it
like I
because
said,
he used the word Allah, or was it because of the
well,
whole thing? Like,
so to your point, I don't know what set her off, but she did actually like make the point of, you're our president. You can't make such a flippant statement on social media.
but he does it all the time.
All the
He's
time.
always done it.
All the time.
And
So he sets a deadline for Tuesday. Tuesday's going to be the day. So
Yeah.
I woke up yesterday just positive we were going to be in nuclear meltdown at this point, right?
yeah, like he gave him till what, 8 p.m. Eastern time last night? And
So he didn't until yesterday, right?
oh, okay.
So like he gives them, just watch, Tuesday will be the day.
Oh.
But then when Tuesday came around and they're like, he then is like, so he sends out another twat.
Yeah.
A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want this to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We'll find out tonight, one of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. So finally, he sends out this tweet and he follows it up with a deadline of 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? And like, to your point, he knew that he had overplayed his hand. So then he's like, okay, I'm going to do it by the end of the day. And then basically he's like, okay, late Tuesday, we're in a 2-week ceasefire. We'll stop bombing you if you will allow ships to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. So Iran said, not unironically, we would never have stopped ships passing through if you hadn't bombed us in the first place. But
right.
Sure.
Yeah.
You stop bombing us, we will start allowing ships to go through. However, we're going to start charging all the ships that go through $100 a gallon so that we can get our money back to rebuild our country. So now certain vessels have been charged up to like $2 million per ship to get through the Strait of Hormuz as reconstruction funds. Who do you think is going to pay that money?
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah.
Us at the gas tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, oil is going to start making it through, but now that it costs an extra $2 million to ship it,
yep,
we're going to have to pay that.
Us and the Chinese civilians and the European civilians and, that are paying for it. Did you see Iran's response to his tweet about the decimation of civilization? Did you see their response to that?
So there were two responses that I saw on the ceasefire.
Oh.
But tell me which one you're talking about on the decimation of civilians.
So this one, it came from Iran's IRGC.
Mm-hmm.
And it just said, self-restraint is over. Our response will now be carried out without any consideration depriving the U.S. and its allies of oil and gas for years. If the U.S. Army crosses red lines, our response will exceed the region's boundaries.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is why you cannot have someone like Donald Trump leading a country, and people like Pete Hegseth, and people like Stephen Miller running a country. This is why. Because this tit for tat bullshit serves no one. And we talked about it last night here at home, and I said I spent all day long worried about what the fuck was actually going to happen. And Riley was like, you did? She's like, I didn't spend 1 second worried about it. She's like, because what am I going to do? She's like, if nuclear war breaks out, I can't do anything about it anyway. And I said, well, I guess that's a good way to look at it. But I spent all day thinking about what it would be like to be a parent in Iran right now. And this fucking psychopath in the United States, they have started bombing our country. They've already killed 100 and some odd little kids in the school on the first day of bombing. And I'm trying to figure out if this is the last night I'm cooking a meal for my family.
Yeah.
Because are they really going to fucking nuke us? Because that's the threat that fucking psychopath in the United States made. Like, that's where my head was at all day long, was the fucking poor Iranian people that are caught in the middle of this bullshit. And Trump's telling them, just take over your country. Just take over your country. They can't fucking take over their country. First of all, we keep fucking bombing them. Yeah. And second of all, the regime is not. It's a fucking lie for him to say that there is now a different, smarter, and less radical regime in there. It's the previous supreme leader's son. He's even more radical than the guy we fucking killed on day one.
100%.
Like, it's all just so fucking infuriating. It's so infuriating.
Well, to your point, it also causes me to do some, like, this is going to sound crazy, but they say don't use hair conditioner.
Oh, yeah,
when you have threats of nuclear. Like, those are the things that I'm thinking about, is like, oh my God, like what's like, I get Riley's point, like, what are we going to do? But honestly, where we live, we are a like third tier nuclear hit.
Yeah.
Like in the models, you know, they're like, oh, we're like third tier of, so the chances are is that we could survive, like where we are, we'll likely survive. We likely wouldn't be decimated, but we would likely have issues with like radiation sickness and this and that. And so it's like, okay, what do my supplies look like? What does my water look like? What does my, food situation look like? That's all the kind of stuff that I'm thinking about. And I'm like, ooh, I have some friends that have a farm, so I'll have to go there. And I have some friends that whatever. And so like, by far, that's what I think about, because at the end of the day, it's a real possibility.
Yeah. And truly, like, we should all be building up our food reserves regardless, because of the fucking costs of groceries. This shit going on in the Strait of Hormuz is only going to make all of that worse.
Oh, yeah. By far. And it's going to continue happening. We know it's going to continue happening.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have a ceasefire, supposedly.
Yeah.
Caroline Leavitt posts on X, "This is a victory for the United States that President Trump and our incredible military made happen.
Oh my
From the
God.
very beginning of Operation Epic Fury, President Trump estimated this would be a 4 to 6 weeks operation. Thanks to the unbelievable capabilities of our warriors, we have achieved and exceeded our core military objectives in 38 days. The success of our military created maximum leverage, allowing President Trump and the team to engage in tough negotiations that have now created an opening for a diplomatic solution and long-term peace. Additionally, President Trump got the Strait of Hormuz reopened. Never underestimate President Trump's ability to successfully advance America's interests and broker peace."
Broker peace?
If you go out there and read the very first comment.
Oh, God.
So this comes from ex-user King. He said, "Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. Regime didn't change. Iran in possession of their uranium. The missile program is still active. Iran will now get $2 million per ship that passes. We paid $1 billion in a month. Hezbollah and Hamas are active, and U.S. U.S. has spent $50 billion on this war." Wow. How's that winning?
Yeah. Tell me again. Yeah.
Jojo from Jurors says, What the fuck did we win? We sent 13 troops home in coffins. Thousands of Iranians are dead, including school children, and tens of billions of dollars to give Iran their wish list.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not wrong.
And all
They're
we've done is
not wrong.
radicalize more people against us.
Well, and Trump says that Iran is like, oh, please keep bombing them, keep bombing them. Every report I have read is absolutely not. They're terrified. They're thankful for a ceasefire, but they're terrified for escalating tensions.
Well,
like,
yeah.
yeah. And why wouldn't they be? Like, okay, so yeah. So Iran released a statement. So Iran's foreign minister released a statement on X that said, if attacks against Iran are halted, our powerful armed forces will cease their defensive operations. He also said that his country is coordinating safe passage through the strait and that it was Washington accepting the general framework of Iran's 10-point proposal that was the basis for negotiations. Trump says that's bullshit. Caroline Leavitt came out and said the 10-point proposal made by Iran was, she said, quote unquote, thrown in the garbage, which I find that hard to believe, I have to say.
Yeah.
And I mean, we talked about the 10-point proposal that they sent over.
Yeah.
So, and it included a total ceasefire. Well, Iran's Supreme National Security Council released a statement that confirmed the ceasefire, but it said the agreement was a victory. Here's what it said. We convey glad tidings to the great nation of Iran that nearly all of the war's objectives had been achieved, and your valiant sons have driven the enemy into a state of historic helplessness and enduring defeat. Our hands remain open or upon the trigger, and should the slightest error be committed by the enemy, it shall be met with full force.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, to our listeners, I'm now looking in this direction because I had a full meltdown on my screen. And so now I have to look at the other screen. We'll figure it out later. So apologies if all of a sudden that looks weird. But anyway, yeah. Oh Iran's God. Like, y'all are, and what this shows me is how it shows the entire world the lack of strength the U.S. actually has.
100%. Yeah. And it seems something, and maybe this is not, I don't know, maybe this isn't an accurate statement, but sometimes his tweets, I think, that where he's trying to project strength and what a badass he is and how, he means what he says, are so deeply unserious.
Oh, yeah.
Because, see, we do have the mightiest military on the planet. We don't need to put shit out about how we're going to wipe your fucking country off the face of the earth, because that just goes without, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I do, but the reality is,
like, it's just fucking ridiculous that he feels like he's got to tweet that stuff out.
Well, what it shows me is that you can't just rule with a stick, right?
Oh, yeah.
What it shows me is that it doesn't matter if we have the biggest military in the world if we're not able to diplomatically manage it ourselves. What it really shows me is that, like, with all these wars that we've seen, that yes, you can like have a strong military, but there have only been a few conflicts where it's all about the mighty power.
Oh, right. No, 100%. Yeah.
And this is what Trump and dipshit Hegseth fails to understand, that at the end of the day, like, there's a lot more to governing a country than just a strong military, right?
Yeah.
Than just bombs.
Yeah. No, yeah, because everything to them is come from a place of what they perceive to be strength, and they do not perceive being able to negotiate without bombs a strength. Obviously. Because they're incapable of it and they don't know how to do it.
obviously we're seeing that right now in the fact that like Trump's ceasefire is basically just capitulating to everything that Iran has asked for. And you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. And then,
obviously he didn't know what he was doing because
yeah.
basically, yeah, all he did was agree to everything Iran demanded and then was like, oh, now we're in a ceasefire.
Yeah. And then, while that's going on, JD Vance is over in Hungary sucking Viktor Orban's dick and, throwing fucking threats to Iran from Hungary. What are
So,
we doing?
so this is the other thing that's crazy to me is this ceasefire is in total trouble. So right now, of course, part of the ceasefire, Iran believes part of the ceasefire is that all bombing has stopped everywhere. Israel believes that the ceasefire only applies to bombing in Iran and not including bombing in Lebanon, where Israel has been bombing the crap. In fact, today was the highest body count of people lost in any bombing ever. So basically, the U.S. says that no, the ceasefire did not include Lebanon. JD Vance tells reporters today, I think the Iranians thought that the ceasefire included Lebanon, and it just didn't. We never made that promise. We never indicated that would be the case. What we said is that the ceasefire will be focused on Iran and America's allies, both Israel and the Gulf Arab states, which, let's be honest, Lebanon I would assume, would be considered a Gulf Arab state.
Right.
He said that Israel has offered to, quote unquote, check themselves a little bit to ensure negotiations that are planned for Saturday are successful. But it's reported in Axios that a senior U.S. official said that Netanyahu raised this issue with Trump before they declared the ceasefire, that, hey, Lebanon is not included. And of course, Trump agrees. Oh, yeah. Lebanon's not included. But then
Jesus
when
Christ.
Trump went in and talked to the Iranians, they're like, are you going to include everything? And Trump's like, yeah, we'll include everything.
Yeah,
Like
this
that,
is because he's just, oh my God. Oh my God.
right. Because he just makes shit up because he's so used to him just being able to make shit up.
To lie and
Um,
get away with it. Yeah.
that's right. The senior U.S. official said the White House is not currently concerned that the situation in Lebanon would cause a ceasefire with Iran to collapse, except we already know it did to some degree because the Strait of Hormuz was closed again today.
Yeah.
So, like, it hasn't even been a fresh 24 hours. And of course, Israel Defense Forces conducted a massive wave of strikes today against Hezbollah in Beirut. And Iran immediately shut down the strait again, with U.S. officials saying the strait's not closed. And Iran's like, yeah, it is, bitch.
Yeah.
And then a reporter specifically asked Trump about threatening civilian targets and if they'd be considered a war crime. He's from the New York Times, and of course, Trump,
Ugh.
all he does is like the New York failing times, blah, blah, blah. And he tells him, I'm not worried about war crimes at all. Because of course he's not.
Of course he's not. He assumes he's never going to actually be held accountable for any of this shit. As Hegseth doesn't think he's going to be held accountable for it. And they probably fucking won't.
Well, to your point, this is how we put the fear of God into people. This is how Trump ruled. Like, this is how Trump got away with being a pedophile too. Like,
yeah,
you'll go to jail because, like, when you read like the Epstein stuff, a lot of the reason why the girls didn't come forward is because Epstein had used them to recruit other girls and then threaten them with lawsuits and like legal problems if they turned him in, because they would be considered,
accessories,
conspirators. They'd be considered traffickers as well.
Yeah.
This is how Trump operates. So he's made it to where all of the most important people that are running the government, if they lose, they'll all go to jail.
Yeah.
And we know that, right?
Yeah.
Like, we know that's going to happen.
Which is why they're trying to do what they're doing with the elections and everything else.
Right. And the SAVE Act and mail-in votes and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know why this pisses me off so much, but it does. a whole brand new set of accounts that are betting in the prediction markets.
Oh my God.
Made highly specific, well-timed bets on the Iran-US ceasefire.
It pisses
yesterday.
you. Oh my God.
And made hundreds of thousands of dollars in profits because of it.
Of course they did. It pisses you off because you know it's them.
And I know it's them.
They're fucking grifters. And again, it's one more thing they're fucking getting away with.
Yep. Well,
and so then he's fucking with our country's diplomacy, with our country's well-being and other countries' well-being and livelihoods.
Yep.
So that his fucking family can make some goddamn money, as if they don't have enough fucking money now as it is.
Yep. Well, we saw that. We talked about that last week with the drones, with the military drones.
Yeah.
And so Trump came out with, not to change subjects, but
no, you're fine.
Trump came out, you know, he was caught on a hot mic basically saying, we don't need daycare. All we need is a military. And then he came out and further clarified that states are going to have to manage their own social programs. That states are going to have to raise taxes and they're going to have to manage their own social programs. And the federal government should only be there to secure a strong military.
Yeah.
He came out with his budget proposal. And like, we can talk more about this next week when I've had a chance to like look at it closer. But it's like every social program is taking a cut.
Yep.
Like, I think you said there were a couple of highlights that you had specifically.
Yeah. Like, so in total, he's proposing boosting defense spending to 1.5 trillion in 2027.
Yes.
So
which all of that money is going to go to drones. Like any business Trump can make money on, that's where that money is going to go.
Yeah. And so the priorities that the White House has called for: supporting his immigration enforcement and deportation. They want to continue opening detention facilities, including 100,000 beds for adults and 30,000 for families, a 13% increase in funding for the DOJ to focus on violent criminals, and to continue with his promise to stop migrant crime, a $10 billion fund within the National Park Service for construction and beautification projects in D.C.,
So that's what the Pod Save America guys just went nuts over.
Oh.
Is that so the defense budget represents a 44% increase in spending.
Yeah.
There's a 10% reduction in non-defense spending, including TSA, which was in Project 2025 to privatize it.
Yeah.
It includes cutting $2.3 billion to education, to the Department of Education.
Yeah.
It nearly eliminates the WIC fruit and vegetable program. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It calls for the elimination of all of the green projects that had been created.
Yeah.
But what it doesn't do, and in fact, it increases spending on renovations, which at the end of the day, didn't we hear we're going to be all covered by private companies and donors?
Right, and donations. Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Not taxpayer dollars.
Not taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
So he's giving himself all this money to build himself his own ballroom in honor of himself. What kind of psychopath do you have to be?
Yeah. And our Congress is allowing
just letting it happen.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I've got to ask, like, I need to go back and ask those people that voted for him, is this what you voted for real?
Yeah.
For real.
I mean, yeah. You had to have known that this was going to be part of it. The man's a grifter and he wants everything. I mean, he wants an Arc de Trump put up where the Washington Memorial is, or somewhere over there on the mall. Like, it's just fucking disgusting. Yeah.
I mean, as soon as he's out of office, I have to believe that all of that gets torn down.
Yeah, but what a waste of fucking taxpayer dollars.
It really is.
I mean, we don't want to leave it up. That's for goddamn sure. But yeah, just an absolute waste of taxpayer dollars.
It's just insane. And
Yeah.
to your point, this whole like states are going to have to be the ones to run social programs. I'm not entirely against that, but the reality is your poorest states are the ones that need, like, how
Yeah.
dumb are you? Your
Yeah.
poorest states are the ones that need the most help.
And the ones that overwhelmingly voted for you.
That's right.
Mississippi,
California,
Louisiana.
New York,
Yeah.
Colorado, Illinois don't need don't need the money.
Right.
They have plenty of money to do social programs, but they don't need it. It's Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and Louisiana, West Virginia, Kentucky. They're the states that need the most help.
Yeah.
And they are the ones that have the least capabilities for providing that help.
Yeah. Yep.
It's insane. It really is insane. Okay. I'm sorry. I just like have to go down these, like, yeah. Anyway, it's insane.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Pammy Sue.
Okay.
So Pammy Sue, as you know, was going to grant you quite the birthday present of going before the Oversight Committee on the 14th. Just one day after your
That's
very
right.
special
That's
Nicole
right.
Day. We call it Nicole Day. Which I was going to apologize that I didn't send you a happy birthday week, but I was like,
Oh my God,
I
you're
don't usually
hilarious.
send it until like your birthday week starts. But then
The
I'm like,
actual
your
week
birthday's on a Monday.
is on
So
Monday.
that's like makes it
Kicks off the week.
impossible for me to
Yeah.
like. So
It's true.
I gotta figure that out. But
That's
anyway,
hilarious.
so Pammy Jo was set to testify in the Epstein trials on April 14th. Assistant Attorney General Patrick Davis wrote a letter to the House Oversight Committee chairman, James Comer, saying Miss Bondi no longer holds that office. And the language is so interesting. As a result, because Miss Bondi no longer can testify in her official capacity as Attorney General, the department's position is that the subpoena no longer obligates her to appear on April 14th. We kindly ask that you confirm that the subpoena is withdrawn.
What?
And I'm like, sir, nobody asked you.
Right. We kindly ask. Yeah.
I love the fact that you are giving us your opinion, but nobody asked you.
Stuff it up your ass. Yeah.
Stuff it up your ass. So Representative Robert Garcia, the top Democrat on the House Oversight panel, responds with, our bipartisan subpoena is to Pam Bondi. Whether she is the Attorney General or not, she must come in to testify immediately. And if she defies the subpoena, we will begin contempt charges in the Congress. The survivors deserve justice. A spokesperson for the panel said, we will contact Pam Bondi's personal counsel to discuss next steps regarding scheduling her deposition. Nancy Mace came out and said, Pam Bondi cannot escape accountability simply because she no longer holds the office of Attorney General. Our motion to subpoena Pam Bondi, which was passed by the Oversight Committee, was for Bondi by name, not by title. She will still have to appear before the Oversight Committee for a sworn deposition. The American people deserve answers, and we expect her to appear as soon as a new date is set. So they go to James Comer and they're like, hey, dude, we need you to publicly come out and confirm that you are going to make her testify and not withdraw the subpoena.
Yeah.
And he's first is like, yeah, I don't know how to do that. Like he didn't know how he would even go about withdrawing.
Oh, withdrawing it. I see what you're saying.
Sorry.
Okay.
Like I
No,
don't
you're
know
fine.
how to do that anyway.
Yeah.
But he's like, I will talk to the Republicans this weekend and then we'll figure out what we're doing moving forward. But at this point, I would make the assumption that everything is going to move forward as expected.
Yeah.
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 Can you imagine the response if,
oh my God,
when like you subpoenaed Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton,
Bill Gates,
and none of them, all of them are not doing what they were doing when they were participating with Epstein and whatever.
Yes.
So if you try and claim that, it's absolutely fucking insane.
Well, yeah. And just one more piece of proof that you are willing to cover up everything for these pedophiles.
Yeah. Well, and you know, the reality is it's not like she's going to answer these questions anyway. I mean,
she'll
at the end of the day, like it's going to be just as contentious as the last, you know, testimony she gave. I don't anticipate her, you know, being any more cooperative than she has been. So I think this is like, I've got to wonder what the play is here.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Republicans just being able to pin it on her instead of on Trump, right?
I mean, maybe. I mean, that's why
I
I
don't
just come out
understand.
and sing.
Right. What, like, in all fairness, like, even at the last House Oversight Committee meeting, I did not ever get the impression that, oh, she's blatantly lying. She just did. She never answered the questions that she didn't want to answer.
Right. And they allowed
And
her to get away
so,
with that. Yeah.
right. And I'm like, she could still do that. Even
Yeah.
if she just says, I plead the fifth or
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
Or just keep saying you all have, TDS over and
right.
over and over and over.
Right. Or why didn't you ask, Merrick Garland these questions?
Right. Yeah.
I feel like that's all she's going to do. So I guess I'm confused as to what the play is, but I hope she does still go ahead and testifies, because all those sound clips of her with all the survivors in the background and her just ignoring them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those were delightful.
I just don't even know how she sleeps at night.
I don't either. Honestly, I don't either. And, yeah, I don't either. Okay. Just some other weird things that popped up this last week. So Lee Zeldin, who, if you remember, is Trump's possible pick for replacing Pam Bondi as Attorney General.
Yeah.
He still oversees the EPA. Yesterday, the NOAA, or maybe it was today, the National Oceanic and whatever, the people that like monitor the weather, came out, Atmospheric Association. All right. I figured it out eventually. They came out today and said, March is the hottest March ever recorded in history. We've never had a hotter March. This is the hottest March we've ever fucking had. In the same week, Lee Zeldin goes to a climate denying fundraiser.
Oh my God.
And gives the keynote speech that basically says, you guys should take a bow. Congratulations. Clearly we were correct.
Yeah. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Like all of those things that AOC and John Kerry.
Yeah.
Like he brought up the name of John fucking Kerry. John Kerry and Al Gore said were going to happen. None of those things happened. Sir.
I've already had to run my AC. I don't know how many times this spring.
Hawaii had horrific floods. Colorado had horrific fires. California had horrific fires. We saw some of the worst hurricanes in the last couple of years. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, did you miss these things happening?
Yeah.
How do you sleep at night?
Yeah. Or are you just
knowing
like Trump
that you're saying these things to conservative right-wing idiots, knowing that we have had clear destruction and devastation brought about by climate change.
Yeah. Yeah.
So love that journey for us. Then Governor Ron DeSantis signed a measure into law Monday that in the state of Florida, he basically, along with, so there's this cabinet that's being established that says that if he and I think one or two other people decide that any group is a domestic or foreign terrorist organization, they can deem, so basically with the governor and three other members of this Florida cabinet, which include the chief financial officer, the state attorney general, and the agriculture commissioner, why the agriculture commissioner or the chief financial officer are part of this conversation, I have no idea. But if they all get together and decide a group is a terrorist organization, they can outlaw the organization, and any students, they can expel any state university students who support those organizations from that state school.
Oh my God.
Yep.
So if they decide the state, what's the word I'm looking for?
They can do the state chapter
of the ACLU is a terrorist organization.
And if a student belongs to that organization, they can be expelled.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you know there's going to be other right-leaning states that are like, that sounds like a great fucking idea. Let's adopt that shit here.
For sure. For sure. 100%. Also, the Trump administration sued Minnesota.
For what?
On Monday. In the lawsuit filed Monday, the Justice Department alleges that the State Department of Education and the Minnesota State High School League are violating Title IX because we're not outlawing transgender athletes.
Jesus Christ.
And of course, that's all because Trump likes to fuck little boys.
Right. And he's ashamed of it.
And he's ashamed of it. Indeed. So this is why the entire country has to hate trans people, is to protect Donald Trump's desire to fuck little boys.
Oh my God.
Love that journey for us. So this is where we're at in the state of the world today. I have to say, I am at least glad that someone convinced Trump yesterday to come to his senses.
Yeah.
Stop bombing Iran. So
you think it was Susie
that
Wiles?
we can. What's that?
Do you think it was Susie Wiles?
Maybe. Honest to God, it could have been. She seems to be the only person that has some
that's level-headed enough. Yeah.
I don't even know that I would call it level-headed, but at least has some sense to her that she's like, sir, we can't bomb the shit out of this country. You'll go to an international trial and you'll go to jail.
You'll go to The Hague.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's Susie Wiles or not, but thank God somebody stepped in and was like, you really should not do this. Yeah. And so let's figure out how to cover this up so that you don't look like you're losing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So now we have 2 weeks of ceasefire. Supposedly, talks are supposed to be on Saturday. They're happening in Pakistan. China's supposed to help kind of usher the talks along. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But as of now, if Israel doesn't stop fucking bombing Beirut, it's not going to make any difference anyway. So we'll see. This is how all of Trump's ceasefires go.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else on your list that you wanted to talk about today?
Nope.
Okay. In that case, please give us
a happy ending.
Happy ending.
Okay, well, I actually have a happy ending, but then just as a reminder, the Artemis 2 splashes down tomorrow evening. So 5:07 Pacific time, 7:07 our time, 8:07 Eastern. So you can watch it on NASA's YouTube channel if you're so interested. I'm sure the local news channels will have something too, but yeah.
So have you seen the pictures yet? So at nasa.gov, you can go and you can like follow the Artemis, and they had a Earth rise and an Earth set.
Yeah.
Instead of like a moonrise and
sunset,
they showed pictures that were pretty fucking cool. And then did you see that they got to see a solar eclipse while they were orbiting?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
That's cool. On the NASA website, like they said that they got to see a solar eclipse, which is kind of cool. So
that's very cool. I did see where they on the far side of the moon that they named one of the unknown craters after Reed's deceased wife, which I thought was really, really sweet.
And they said, I guess that was like there had been a precedence, like that had been traditional for astronauts
really?
to do
like
that.
For them to be able to name something when they're up there. That's cool.
After something sentimental like that.
Okay, that's really cool.
I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
Okay, so on to our happy ending. It is coming to us, I can't remember, it'll tell us in here. Providence, Rhode Island. So Nathan Ewell was diagnosed as a child with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Okay. He is 2 treatments away. At the age of 12, he is finally 2 treatments away from his anticipated bell ringing remission announcement.
Aww.
But before his time at the hospital came to an end, he raised $2,000 to give almost every child in the hospital a present-filled Easter basket.
Aww.
And there's a picture of him with the baskets, and they're so freaking cute. So, a nurse manager of the pediatric unit said that the carts they normally use to transport meals and other things from room to room were used to transport the baskets.
Yeah.
And like the kids were so excited to get Easter baskets. So
Aw.
yeah, he raised that $2,000 in 24 hours.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
because when did you say he was diagnosed?
When he was 4 and he's 12
Oh,
now.
God. So
Yeah.
8 years of
Yeah.
fighting this.
Yeah. 124 baskets in total were distributed in time for Good Friday in Providence. Oh,
Nice.
this says in Providence and the nearby Alaska Native Medical Center, so not Rhode Island. I lied. Providence, Alaska.
Huh.
But yeah,
Okay.
and
That's okay.
it's just super cute looking at him with all of the freaking baskets that they helped like, and then they had volunteers that came in to help put everything together so that then they
Aw.
could distribute them. Yeah, it's super cute that like this poor little guy that's been fighting non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, you know what I mean, for all these
Yeah.
years, and then before he leaves the hospital is like, I got to do something for these other kids. Like, it's
That's
just so
awesome.
cute. Yeah,
Yeah.
super
That
cute.
just like, it, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely warms your heart, and it makes you feel like, man, for a kid that could really hate the world in a lot of ways.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's nice. I
yeah.
love it. Do you have any exciting plans for your birthday?
No, not
Do you know
really.
what the best present could be?
Oh God, what? Oh, if the dirt nap happens,
Yeah.
if you get to call me in the middle of the night and be like, "Bitch, it finally happened," that would
I
be
know.
amazing.
I know.
It really
I
would be.
almost like, yeah.
It really would
I
be.
mean, I don't want to wish on anybody except for Donald Trump.
Except for Donald Trump, because fuck him. You put out a tweet that you were going to decimate an
Decimate a
entire
civilization.
civilization. Yeah, I haven't exactly. I have no concerns about my karma and
No.
wishing you to no longer be walking this earth.
Jesus himself.
Yes.
Jesus himself
Yes.
would come back to earth to celebrate.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
You
just
can't tell me something different.
Yeah. No. That would be an amazing birthday gift. And
Yeah.
I honestly have to believe that Dementia Don is like, he is rapidly declining. It's why he's ramping up this crazy fucking rhetoric online. It's what, you know what I mean? That the dementia is
Yeah.
just getting worse by the day. And I have to hope that that means he goes very soon. Very, very soon.
So the problem is that he still is running enough where
Yeah.
like by the time Joe Biden, I don't know about you, but when we finally saw Joe Biden, I was like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah. When he
You
was
know what I mean?
wandering
Like
off in the jungle.
in the jungle. Yeah. Or like whatever.
Yeah.
Like they had done such a good job of keeping him and his condition from us
Yeah.
that like by the time we actually like saw Joe Biden and who he was, it was like, I think that was a lot of people. That's why, you know, it ended up the way that it was. It was like,
Yeah.
holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
And so I don't see them doing that to Trump. Instead, like they're just letting him continue to do what he does. And it doesn't seem like he's slowing down the way that I would expect him to. But to your point, I see like a lot of age related
Yeah.
responses to
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah.
who
Yep.
knows? I mean, one can hope. One can hope. Anyway.
Yeah. 100%.
All right. Well, this has been a little bit of a challenging for those of you who hopefully won't realize that my camera cut out like 3 times. The dog went nuts at one point. So if you see a lot of cuts and edits, you'll know why. With that said, I have no idea how long this podcast is. So it could be only like 30 minutes. Who knows? But regardless, hopefully by next week, we will have heard that the negotiations have gone well and peace has been restored and Trump has gotten his fat ass out of the Gulf and is now back on the Gulf, gotten out of the Gulf and onto the Gulf because he can do less harm there.
Exactly.
But we'll see what happens. Besides that, like, again, definitely watching the Artemis 2 tomorrow. Sending huge happy birthday vibes to my BFF, Nicole, and hoping that she has a fabulous time on her birthday. And hope all of you a safe weekend.
Yeah.
Of no bombing.
No drama.
So,
yeah. if
No
we can
drama.
get
Let's
lucky.
hope. Indeed. Indeed. We love you all. We hope you all have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye.